Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with a quick video to explain why I bought back the Realme X2 Pro. Now, apologies ahead of time, guys. I'm still under the weather here, so if I do sound very hoarse, my apologies. I actually wasn't planning to pick up this phone again, and as you know, I sold this back in November when I lost my job, but I saw this version of the phone in a store yesterday, and I just could not help myself. Of all the phones I did sell off in November, this was the one that I felt real regret for having sold too early. And let me show you the version of the phone I have. This is none other than the global version. So this is not the China version I've reviewed previously. It is the global version X2 Pro, 8 GB, 128 gigs of storage, and it is the Lunar White version. So that's another big factor why I picked this up, because look at this gorgeous white back on the Realme X2 Pro. It's the first time I've seen this in person, and I just absolutely love it. Now, I did have the blue version previously, and it was good, but like I said, it was the China version. So let me just explain the reasoning, guys. Why did I pick this one up again? And that is reason number one. The global version here on this X2 Pro, and it is the first time I've seen it in Hong Kong. I got this for around 3,300 Hong Kong dollars, so just about 420 US dollars. And so this version of the phone, it's got it all. It's got that deep Google integration, as you can see right there. It's got the full language support you'd want from a global version. And you can see here in DRM info, it's got a, yes, there you go, not a negative, a positive L1 security level for CDM, wideband CDM here. So that is HD Netflix capable on this global version. I think also the other reason why I got it was because of the color difference. This is a very different looking phone than the one I reviewed back in October, November. And so looking at the edges here, you can see this is metallic, and the back, yes, it is glossy. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I think if you're going to do a glossy back, this white color is probably the best color to have, because even though you do get fingerprints, you can't see them. And as you can see at the bottom, we do have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and we do have all of the added amazing features of this awesome phone, which was the Snapdragon 855 Plus. You got the 8 gigs of RAM. You have the 90 hertz refresh rate with this gorgeous display, AMOLED display, flat panel display once again here. And most importantly, we had a really good camera setup on this phone with the 64 megapixel Samsung sensor. It was not the Sony IMX686, but it still performed very well. 4,000 milliampere battery. And last but not least, that super VOOC charging, which is unmatched here on the channel. There's very few phones other than the Oppo Reno Ace that did as well. And I really started kind of missing this phone. The more recent phones I've been reviewing, I started looking back and thinking, gosh, that Realme X2 Pro brought a lot of value to the table. So here, comparison to the Oppo Reno 3 Pro, I think, as you can tell, the design has really kind of started improving. The bezels are even smaller on this phone, and you do have a punch hole. So I would say this is a more refined design now, but what does the Realme X2 Pro offer here? It still offers the benefit of flat edges. It's a lower price, obviously, but I still think in the hand it feels great, and it still rivals the experience on the Oppo Reno 3 Pro. And when you compare it to something like the Mi 9T Pro, this was my phone of the year, guys, but I did name the Realme X2 Pro my affordable flagship of the year. And as you can tell, these phones went head to head back in the day. And I still think now that we're entering 2020, this has a lot of features that the Mi 9T Pro doesn't, that are going to become real staples of good phones in 2020. And that includes the 90 hertz refresh rate. There you can see the actual single-core, multi-core scores compared to this, the Snapdragon 765, and then obviously compared to the Mi 9T Pro, which is running the Snapdragon 855 regular. There is a little bit of discrepancy here in the scores, but in terms of just raw performance, you should want to pick up this 855 Plus. It is by far the most powerful still of all these chipsets. Now, compared to the Dimensity 1000, that's a different story. And I do think that chipset, especially the kind of the higher clock version, is going to start to actually make an impact here compared to the 855. But in terms of value, guys, it's really hard to look past phones like the Mi 9T Pro and now phones like this Realme X2 Pro in 2020. I think 5G is in its infancy, and it is still kind of early for many countries. Many of you will not receive 5G for probably another year. So in that case, a lot of the phones that came out at the end of 2019 are still going to be some of the best phones that you can buy in this year. And so in terms of being able to compare it to other phones, in terms of just the awesome price to performance ratio that this phone represented, and last but not least, the main reason why I want to keep this phone is because of software. And as you guys know, Realme UI is a real thing, and it's coming very soon. The X2 Pro is scheduled for a rollout of Realme UI, which is based on ColorOS 7 sometime in March. So hopefully I can have this phone, get Realme UI, and really be able to test that out at that point. Maybe there'll be other phones in the future. Maybe there'll be Realme X3 Pros that we'll be checking out in the future as well. But for now, that is the reasoning why I picked up this Realme X2 Pro again. And I'm so glad to have it back in my hands. It was one of the best phones of 2019, and I think it will continue to be a great option for you to consider in 2020. So that's it for this video, guys, and I'm gonna wrap this one up quick because I am very short of breath. I need to rest up. I'm still not 100%, so stay tuned for content coming next week once I'm feeling a lot better. I do appreciate the support, and stay tuned also for more comparisons. Let me know which phones of the ones that I do own that you'd want to see a deeper comparison with this Realme X2 Pro, including that Oppo Reno 3 Pro, the Oppo Reno Regular, and the Mi 9T Pro as well. That's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up, and if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. Anyways, have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you all soon, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one.